What going on, everybody? This your boy Nick once again. Come back at you one more time, man. A little bit more of this information, man. Some of y'all take this information and share it as much as you can. Use it if you need to. No copywriting here, man. Whatever y'all want to take and use, hey, more power to you, man. I'm not here for fans or nothing like that. I'm only here to give y'all this information, give y'all this truth, man. So y'all go ahead and do what y'all gotta do. Um, just a little bit about me, man. Let me just let y'all know. You know, I'm on these type of videos right here, man, that I'm trying to make. They're not really for the people that don't have the information. You know, it's a lot of brothers out here that's been given that information already. Y'all check out the brothers that African American ain't African. Check out Kerry Davis, man. He doing a lot of good work. Tyrone Street doing a lot of good work out on Facebook. 1000 Go Ahead got a lot of nice pictures and stuff like that. It's a lot of people out there, man. If I'm missing anybody, believe me, I watched y'all all, and I support most of y'all, man. I support all of y'all. Let me say that again, man. I don't mean to say that wrong. I support every last one of y'all because y'all out here doing the work that our ancestors need to be done, and it's something that we cannot continue to let go in vain. But today I want to talk to y'all a little bit about these maps. Like I was telling you a little bit about them last time. See, people, you know, a lot of people probably won't go and do the work, so I'm gonna go and do a little bit of it for you. I'm gonna show you something that I found about Georgia myself. You know, this is my state that I'm in. Show you a little bit of the information that I found. What you seen when the video first came up was a map of Georgia. You know, it's basically showing the progression of the cities and states as they became, as they got founded. You know, now what I came to find out about this map, this particular map, is that it's about 10 years off. You know, about 10 years, so to say, you know, because when I actually went in and verified some of the places, they were actually a little bit later on. See, they tried to push them back a little bit further just to make it seem like it's been longer, closer towards the 1776, when they, you know, did all this shit with Georgia. You know, 1776, that's what they was trying to say with their colonies and stuff like that. So, you know, some of this stuff is just a little bit off, but for the most part, man, it's got some good information in there. But, what I'm going to do, man, is I'm going to start this video for y'all. It's not really a video. It's just basically basically what it is like a little slideshow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically take y'all and walk y'all through it step by step, man. Just a little bit at a time, man. It's going to go by years. I'm going to explain a little bit about it so that y'all can see. Y'all got to remember now, look at the dates and look at the dates of these, and remember what's supposed to been going on in history when you start looking at some of these dates, because all of that's gonna play into it too. All right, now give me a second, y'all. Okay, now this right here, for any of y'all that want to go out here and check this out to see where it is, it's a map of us.org. Map of us.org. Here, go right here in the description so y'all can see it. Map of us.org. Mine is a map of Georgia, what I'm doing today, because this is where I live at, man. And they got every single city, every state over here listed to the left, so y'all can go in and check out them as they became populated and stuff like that. Now down at the bottom you see they got the different dates and everything like that. Basically this is like a little slideshow. I'm not going to play it because I'm going to talk a little bit in between each slide or whatever. But I'm going to let y'all see. Now, as you notice, first thing I want you to do is look at the date. This is 1758. Now, remember, some of the dates are a little bit off, so you got to take that into exception. Okay, now look at what it says. It says Creek lands and Cherokee lands. This is 1758, so what they were considering those people, anybody that was in this area around this time was considered to be either Creek or Cherokee, okay? Now, the Cherokee line is a little bit higher than what it should have been because it actually came down a little bit lower. I actually traced the true line, and come to find out, it's rather ironic. I grew up on a creek called Lion Creek, and that was the Creek line and the Cherokee line, you know. It's real ironic, man, how history come back and bite you. And I was taught most of this stuff as a child, but I did not know it to be true because I was being, you know, programmed to believe that it was a lie. All right. So this is 1758. This is 1763. Notice the only thing they did was define the border of Georgia and Florida, you know, because they were down in that area trying to progress. Now, you see that they 1777. This is right after they did the Constitution and all of that. Now look at some of the places that's coming up: St. Thomas, Matthews, Glen, Andrew, James, St. John, Richmond, St. Paul. Now all of these people are basically just some of the European conquerors. They named their cities and states after them. Now, if they had been here for all this time and so long and so long and so long, don't you think these places would have already been named or known about? Why is it that they still are considered Creek and Cherokee lands? That's because they were our land. All right. Now let's go on down to 1783. Northern border established. You see that? The northern border was established in 1783. Okay. 1784, they added a couple of more. You know, look at it now. They just adding territory. You know. Then you got Bourbon County, you know, and they just basically all the way out to the Mississippi claiming that. But look what it still say. Creek and Cherokee lands. But if you go back and look at some of their maps and some of their history, they're gonna tell you that, oh, this is part of the Georgia territories. How the hell is it a territory if it don't belong to you? You know? How is it part of your territory and it's the Creek's territory? Doesn't make sense because they already had made plans on attacking it. Because that was their plan from the beginning. They never did plan on doing anything other than attacking. 1786. They didn't do hardly shit, you know. Washington, Wykes, or whatever, you know, they just basically expanded upon their own shit. 1788, the Bourbon County established, you know. Just one county. And then look at the little different counties within their land that they had, 1790. Then 1793, they started to section them off a little bit, but they didn't make no more progression towards us. They started sectioning them off a little bit more, but did not make no more progression towards us. Now look at this little bit of the area that they have. This is what they controlled. This is what they owned. So this is what the people right here would have just now been enduring slavery. Well, they really went in. Well, yeah, they was enduring slavery at this point in time. This point in time is when they would have been doing that. Then you start seeing that they actually tried to put a border over here on the left side, right over here. They tried to put a border to basically section off Georgia some more. Then you start seeing they just expounded upon this. I'm pretty sure that they didn't really do this over here. They just added that in to make it look like, oh yeah, they did some of this. Now they did have missionaries, so don't act like I'm trying to say that they had no idea about this stuff. They did have missionaries that went out there and tried to go look, and surveyors that surveyed and stuff like that. That's how they learned information about us. Those missionaries, those same Bible-thumping people that come out here, the Jehovah's Witness and people like that that come out to your door, that's what they had, you know. Those same people was doing the same thing back then, okay? Now you look at it, and then they started putting the western border over here as if they really had it, but it's still Creek and Cherokee land. So how the hell is they? You see what they was doing? They just went and worked around us, and they did what they could do, and they took what they could take. Then they finally started impeding back on us in 1803. Then you got them. That's basically because they was fighting that war from 1803 to 1805. It was just blue, and then it went back to white. Let me go back to the previous. Sorry, man, my computer. I need to get a mouse pad, man. My mouse pad don't have one. But you see this right here? They basically just was in this area fighting. That's all that really was. And then they took it, you know. And then they started sectioning it off in 1807. Then they sectioned it off again in 1808. Some more in 1809. Some more in 1811. Some more in 1812. And this is when they got to 1818, when they started going down. Now, if you look at all these little areas down here, this is when they decided to make they push to fight these areas. These areas was not taken by them, because if you look at the documentation, you see the wars that they was fighting. They was fighting between the Seminoles and everything. And oh, at the same time, remember now, we just passed the War of 1812. Remember that now, when they supposed to been having a civil war with the British. Now that's something that I want y'all to look into too, man. When y'all get a little chance, look at the War of 1812, because the national anthem is something that I had made a little SoundCloud video that I had put out about that. But you got to look into it, man, because the War of 1812, they try to say that they had Canadians fighting against Americans in the War of 1812. But yet they teach it to you that it was the British and Americans. And then if you look at the war, you see that Napoleon was actually at war with his own people over there in Britain. So they didn't have the real time, resources, or assets to fight a war over here in America. Because they weren't really fighting a war over here in America. This is just their other empire. That's all it really is. They was fighting a war over there with the black people over there in Great Britain. That's why they was over there. You know. Then we're going to go to the next one. Notice this 1819, then shit changed. They just tried to add in a couple of more borders. Then they came up in here in 1821. Now this is where they reached my county. But the thing about it is I actually found them in 1840. I found my family on the first censuses that they had, because they didn't have these censuses made by then. Like I told y'all now, these was a little bit behind. So it really around 1830 is when I actually found that they got to my people. But they didn't get that until that time, man. You know, it was around 1830. See, that's the 10-year gap that they trying to put in, because it plays up and it messes up the history. Like if you go and look at their documentation, when Andrew Jackson was basically making treaties with these fake $5 Indians, he was out there. All of that stuff happened in 29 and you know 30 and 32. So basically, they want you to think that it happened 10 years prior and that they already had this land. So when you go back and look at the paperwork, you're going to be like, oh, man, they already had that land. But they didn't. That's the thing about it. All right, now 1821. Now we see that they just basically started filling them in, sectioning them off a little bit. That's 22. 23, they just basically started doing the same thing, man. Now, most of these things are not hard dates. They shouldn't be in there as if they are, because when I actually went in and did a couple of the cities, my girlfriend is from the South, and she did some of hers, and we found the same information. It was about a 10-year gap in the actual time frame, you know. Excuse me. But it's 1825. Now, it's 1825 now. I'm going to take a time and pause out real fast. You see, Cherokee lands, Creek lands are still here. Now, everything to the left of that is still Cherokee and Creek lands all the way on out to the Mississippi, man, you know, and different indigenous tribes. But the thing is that they want to try to teach it to y'all like all of this had already been conquered. Now, you can clearly see this 1825, and they still got lands in Georgia that have not been conquered. So what does that mean for all of y'all people that's on the east, on the west of the Mississippi? How does that apply to y'all? How would it apply to y'all, you know? Then we go on some more, and then they took Carroll, Coweta, Lee, Muskogee, Troop from the Creeks. You know, and I actually found out that my family, I'm part Cherokee, and my dad's family is Cherokee, and my mother's family is Creek. They come from LaGrange. And we actually found, like, I did a lot of census on them, and I found a lot of information. And my folks have tracked them back to 1798. But as you can just see, and that would be down in this area right in here. My mouth's messing up, man. But down in that area. Right around in here. This is where my mom's family would have been coming from. I'm going to go back real quick just so y'all can see. You notice right there, bam, 1825. You know, they didn't even have it. Let's go all the way back a little bit further. You know, 1819, they definitely didn't have it. You know, but we tracked ourselves through, we tracked ourselves all the way back to the 1700s. You know, let's get back on over here. 1825, then we got 1826 where they started sectioning off a lot of stuff, and the only thing that's left is the Cherokee lands up at the top. Then you got 1827 where they started sectioning it off a little bit more, dividing stuff up. They divided more up, and then they went out into the rest of the Cherokee land that was remaining, and basically said that, hey, that's ours too. Then they basically sectioned some more stuff off. Then they basically took it to Creek County. They called it Cherokee County at that point in time. And then they basically sectioned it all up, added a couple more borders, added a few more borders, added a few more, sectioned off a couple more. Then they sectioned them off a little more, dissected. But now you see now, 1851, and they actually starting to actually do all of this stuff. These counties are becoming counties, and cities are becoming cities, you know. But have it believed like you know, you would think all the way back in 1776, all of this was already done, you know. That's what you would think by listening to they dumbasses. And if you don't go back and do this research on your own, you will always think that. And then they section off more stuff, section off more, and more, and more, and more, 1861, 1870, 1875, not much has changed. 1905, 1906, 1912. But, I ain't gonna keep going with that right now. But as you can tell, man, you can see how they basically went and started, you know, they basically went and just, they lied, man. They just now started doing this stuff. That's why I think it's important for y'all to know that, man. These folks have been lying to y'all since y'all was kids. Just like my family told me, man. Like my dad told me. He told me the best. He said, you know what, Nick? All that they ever did was they would come in and they would build stuff over here onto your land that they didn't ask for. And then you would just be like, okay, whatever. And then after a while, they'd be like, hey, you didn't pay taxes on it. And we'd be like, what the hell is you talking about? Well, we built it for you, so you got to pay taxes on it. And our people be like, well, shit, we didn't tell you to build it. And they'd be like, well, since you didn't, you can't pay the taxes, we'll just take this and the land that it sits on. So that's basically what they did. It's called encroachment, man. They encroached on our people, and our people was broken down, and we was not communicating well at the time. And there's reasons why we weren't doing so, but I'm not going to get into those right now. But the thing about it is, man, is that our people was basically broken from communication with ourselves. So what they did was they seen this with all of the people that went out. Because, man, you got to understand, when they first got here, all they did was fight. But they realized, damn, they couldn't beat us because we was actually stronger than... People be like, oh, they had guns. Y'all don't understand, man. Them guns only shot one shot. And it was only a few of them people. I was reading this book, America. America, the latest and greatest accurate description of America. A lot of y'all got that book, man. I've been reading it a lot. And the thing that I have found is interesting that in 1670, they only had about 30,000 people that was in Virginia. Now you look at all the people that was in America, hundreds of millions. You understand why they couldn't conquer us like that, man, because it was a lot of us. Now you got one shot versus one shot, one bullet versus one arrow. Y'all people sit here and really dumb yourself down to thinking that we were stupid, but our people knew the land. They couldn't fight us like that. The guerrilla warfare, guerrilla warfare that we used was so effective to them that they could not beat us. That's why they had to mentally beat us, and that's why they are mentally beating us now. They're using all this education system to take everything away from us. So we out here thinking that we African, and we thinking that we shouldn't be in America, and most of the people I tell about this, they be like, man, fuck America. I don't want to hear nothing about America. I hate America. And I'm like, man, you really don't understand. If you understood what happened to you, you would look in the mirror and be like, damn, I'm a weak ass individual. But see, man, I'm ready to stand up. Got no choice, man. I'd rather stand up before I lay down. Our people did the same thing for us, and I'm gonna do the same for my kids. I'm gonna make sure that they don't have to face half of the shit that I did. This is the generation that we come up out of this shit. And I mean, there's a lot of good niggas out here, a lot of good females out here that's really trying to do their job. But we gotta be together, man. They can't beat us together. They motto is united we stand, divided we fall. And that's true to us too. Y'all gotta understand that. But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go, man, with that one right there. I got a couple more things I would like to share with y'all later on, but for now, I'm gonna just let y'all have this right here. But like I said, man, when y'all get a chance, go back, take a look at this. It's got your city, it's got your state over here. Some of y'all people, like, that's way over there on the other side of the Mississippi. Y'all should never even let it cross your mind that you was a slave. I know I was never a slave. My people know that we were never slaves, and all they ever talked about was Jim Crow and stuff like that. They remember that time of segregation when them people was trying to, but really, like they told us, they was trying to keep us away from their stuff. They're coming now and build, like we was trying to keep them away from our stuff, because we already have cities and we already had stuff established, and they wanted to be a part of it, but being a part of it, they wanted to control it. So we tried to stay away from them as much as possible, But y'all continue to do y'all research, man. Continue to search. Continue to go out here and do exactly what y'all need to do. I'm sorry, my camera. I dropped it in some water, man, so it act kind of funny. It's supposed to be a high definition camera, but sometimes it act like it's fucking 2 megapixels. But man, y'all go ahead, do this research, man. Do this work. Y'all keep on going out here and support each other, man. We gotta support each other because that's the only way we're gonna ever make it out of this fight. Till the next time, man. Yeah.